Students, we have one problem. In this problem, there is a capacitor connected with batteries. Initially, switch S1 is closed, like here is the switch. This is point 1. This is point 1. And this is switch S. S act as switch. Now what actually is that initially switch is connected with 1. That means this capacitor which is connected over here, and that capacitor value, let me tell it as 2 microfarad, and this is 10 volt battery and it is 5 volt battery. Now this 2 microfarad capacitor is connected with these two batteries, right? Now clearly you can tell that this end of the battery is 10 volt and this end however will be 0, and this end of the battery is 0. This end of the battery will be equal to 5 volt. Okay. When switch S1 is closed, the capacitor is being connected in between 10 volt and 5 volt. Check it up. It is being connected in between 10 volt and 5 volt. Right. You can use KVL and you can find out how much charge is present upon this, because it becomes one closed loop. Right. So let me name this loop as A, B, C, D and E, right? So A, B, C, D, E is a closed loop. You can use KVL, Kirchhoff voltage law. Start from any one particular point. Start from E, right? So your loop is like this. Starting from this point and you are going throughout here, starting from E, right? Starting from E, you are going in clockwise direction, starting from E. Now you are going from negative terminal to positive terminal of the battery. As a result, this becomes plus 10 volt. And from here you are going to the capacitor. At the capacitor, some voltage is being dropped. That is minus V is equal to Q divided by C. C is 2 microfarad. And coming from here through this switch, and you are going from this end, D to E. Therefore, from positive terminal of the battery, you are entering into negative terminal. So you will be getting here minus 5 volt is equal to 0. This is KVL. 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. 5 volt is equal to Q divided by 2 microfarad. Therefore, charge on the capacitor Q will be equal to 10 microcoulomb. This is charge on capacitor when S is connected to 1. So when the switch is connected to point 1, you have the charge on the battery, you have charge on the capacitor as 10 microcoulomb, initial charge on the capacitor. So I will be mentioning it as Qi is equal to 10 microcoulomb. This is initial charge. Now, as there is some charge already on the capacitor plates, what you are doing now, you are removing this switch S1 and you are connecting it to S2. Okay, so that what would happen now, the new circuit will be seen like this. This is battery of 10 volt and it is being connected to this 10 volt, leaving this 5 volt out. 5 volt is now not being connected, it is disconnected. So when switch S1 is connected with S2, 5 volt is useless in the circuit, and this is 10 volt battery, it is plus and this is minus, and here it is 2 microfarad capacitor, already it has some charge. Q initial is equal to 10 microcoulomb. Now, when you are placing this switch S1 to S2, when you are shifting this, there will be now new charge accommodated on this capacitor, and that new charge is Q final, which is equal to C into V, right? So Q final is equal to 2 microfarad into what is its potential? 10 volt, which is 20 microcoulomb. The new, that is Q final charge is equal to 20 microcoulomb. Initial charge is equal to 10 microcoulomb, right? When the switch S1 is being closed with S2, when the switch is shifted from 1 to 2, this capacitor is additionally storing some amount of charge. Additionally, it is gaining some charge, and that charge delta Q is equal to 20 microcoulomb minus 10 microcoulomb, which is equal to 10 microcoulomb. This is Q transferred, right? So when switch is being shifted from point 1 to point 2, there is some charge transferred. How much charge is being transferred over there? 10 microcoulomb of charge is being transferred in the circuit. Now you are supposed to find out heat generated in this process. As we know, heat generated in the process, H is equal to work done by the battery minus change in the potential energy. Is it not? Work done by the battery minus change in potential energy. Work done by the battery, W is equal to delta V into Q transferred. What is delta V? Delta V is potential difference, that is 10 into 10, which is equal to 100 microjoule. This is work done. And what about delta U? Delta U is potential energy difference. So delta U is equal to U final minus U initial. What is U final? U final is equal to Q final whole square divided by 2C minus what is U initial? Q initial whole square divided by 2C. This is potential difference between the potential energy difference initially and finally when you are closing the switch S1 to S2. When you are shifting this switch S1 to S2, there is some potential energy difference in the capacitor that I am calculating it here, delta U. QF and QI is already known to you. QF is 20 microcoulomb and Q initial is 10 microcoulomb. You can substitute that over here and you will be getting delta U. Delta U is the potential energy difference. And heat developed will be equal to 100 microjoule minus this delta U. Delta U, you should calculate that. You will be getting some answer here. From there, H is equal to 100 microjoule minus delta U gives you heat produced, right? And this heat produced is nearly equal to 25 microjoule. You can calculate that. This is how you can find out heat produced in the circuit. Students, in the last problem, we have seen only one capacitor is being connected to two batteries. And we have calculated total charge transferred, and as well as we have learned heat produced, how to calculate heat produced in the process. Same way we will be approaching this problem also. Now when you have got the circuit, see all the data is being given to you. One battery is having 20 volt potential difference and the other one is offering 10 volt potential difference. So check it up. This become, see these 2 points, you need to identify that. Okay, now we have 20 volt and 10 volt. These opposite terminals are being connected over there. Yes, opposite terminals has been connected. Just hold on. So we have one closed path here. Let me name this as O, A, B, C, D and E. You have 6 microfarad capacitor and 3 microfarad capacitor here. We have two different capacitors connected, and those two capacitors are connected with two batteries of 20 volt and 10 volt, right? Now you are supposed to find out initial charge on these two capacitors. Okay, now when this switch to See, in this it is been mentioned, this is switch 2 and here is a switch 1. Initially switch 2 is opened. So find charge flown through path 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3 as shown in the figure after closing switch S and heat generated in the circuit. So when you are closing this switch, what is the charge flow in here and here and here? In these 3 paths, how much is the charge transferred? You need to find out. Now, initially when the switch is open, this becomes one closed loop. Check it up. It is one closed loop. So I will now use KVL for this closed loop. So using KVL for loop O, A, B, C, D, E. Starting from point O, I am going like this. Check it up. This is the direction of path which you are using when you are writing KVL. Starting from O, you are going to A and this is negative terminal and this is positive terminal. You are going from negative to positive. So I will be taking plus 10 volt. Plus 10 volt. Next, from A to B, you are going from negative to positive terminal. Therefore, you will be taking plus 20 volt. And coming from B to C and from C to D, you are coming over here initially. So there will be some voltage dropped across this. So therefore this becomes plus and this become minus, this become plus and this become minus. Now coming here, you will have minus, charge transferred, you do not know, let it be Q divided by C is 6 microfarad. Next, potential dropped across this capacitor will be Q divided by 3 microfarad is equal to 0. Okay, nothing I have done, just I have used KVL for the closed loop. I have written KVL equation and from there you should find out the charge, initial charge on this capacitors. 10 plus 20 it is 30 minus of or 30 is equal to Q. I can take it common. It is 1 by 6 microfarad plus 1 by 3 microfarad. This is equal to Q into, you can take it as 3 plus 6, it is 9 divided by 6 into 3 micro. It is micro divided by micro square. This gives you 3 3 is 9 and 3 2 6. It is 1 by 2 Q. So finally you can write it as 30 is equal to Q divided by 2. So Q will be equal to 60 microcoulomb. That is initial charge on the capacitor. So once we have calculated initial charge on the capacitor, now what you are doing? You are shifting this switch. You are switching on this key, right? So I am now closing this key. So when I am closing this key, what would happen? It become totally, there will be 3 different paths for the charge now. Check it up. Understand carefully. Understand the circuit. Now what would happen? The total get into 3 different paths, right? You have one path A, B, C, D, A. And the other path is O, A, D, E, O. And the other path is O, A, B, C, E, O, right? This is path 1, right? Number 1. And this is path 2. It is number 2. And the whole bigger circuit, this total path, this is path 3, right? So we have 3 different paths over here. Like when you are dealing with KVL, you can use 3 different paths over here. One closed path is this upper portion and the second one is this down portion, and the total without connecting this AD will become one closed path. So you can use any of these 3 paths. Like you can do, we have how many unknowns? We will be having 3 unknowns here because we have one capacitor here 6 microcoulomb. In this there will be some charge passing through, right? And when it comes over here, it gets divided into 2 parts, right? Now let me write down those. First I'll clear these all. right? This is the actual circuit, right? Now what you are doing, you are closing this key. When you close this key, what would happen? There comes some charge from here. Let me consider that charge in the path 1, Q1 I am considering. Q1 is the charge because this capacitor is now being connected only to 20 volt. 6 microfarad is connected to only 20 volt here when you are switching on this second key. Now Q1 comes over here, and after coming to this point, this is one node, right? As it is the node, when it comes over here, it get divided into two parts. Some charge goes into this, some charge goes into this. Let me consider it as Q2 and let me consider it as Q3. Okay, Q2 and Q3. Q3 charge comes over here, and finally charge over this battery is also like the charge which is transferring over here because of this 10 volt is also Q3. Now in this path 2, Q2 amount of charge gets transferred, and finally towards this loop there will be Q1 amount of charge. This is how distribution of charge I have done, right? And here it become positive charge and this become negative, and obviously here it become positive and here it become negative. Clear? Now we have three different paths. I need to find out Q1, Q2, Q3. We have three unknowns over here. Let me write, sorry, two unknowns you will be getting using Kirchhoff current law at node. What do you write there? Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. Two unknowns are there. Q2 and Q3 are the two unknowns in the circuit, unknown charges. If you find out Q2 and Q3, it means that Q1 is obtained. So how many unknowns are there in the circuit? Two unknowns are there, Q2 and Q3. Q1 is obtained once if you calculate Q2 and Q3. So in order to find out Q2 and Q3, what you will do is you will take two loops. I'll name them as O, A, B, C, D, and E. Right? Now let me write down each loop. For loop A, B, C, D, A. First I am taking one loop. Now for this loop, I should use KVL. Starting from A, you are going in this direction, right? Now minus 20 to plus 20, that becomes 20 volt plus 20 volt. And coming from here, it will be minus, what about charge Q1 divided by 6 microfarad and is equal to 0. Okay. Now from this you can calculate Q1 is equal to 6 to 12, 120 microcoulomb. So Q1 charge we have got. Q1 is equal to 120 microcoulomb. Next take another loop. For loop, take this loop. You can take this total loop O, A, B, C, E, O. Right? Now for this total loop, I'll start from O because this is the point where I am starting with. I'll write it as plus 10 volt. Next plus 20 volt. Coming from here, it is minus Q1 divided by 6 microfarad. Next coming from here to here, it is minus Q2 divided by 3 microfarad is equal to 0. Right? That is the second loop which I am taking. Now from this, we have already calculated Q1, it is 120. You can substitute that here so that you will be getting Q2 in this equation. 20 plus 10, it is 30 volt minus of 120 divided by 6 minus of Q2 divided by 3 is equal to 0. I am leaving this micro. Later, finally, I will be writing Q in microvolt. So this is 20. Right? 30 minus 20, it is 10 is equal to Q divided by 3. So Q2, I'm sorry. Q2 is equal to 30 microcoulomb, right? Q2 is equal to 30 microcoulomb. Once Q1 and Q2 is been obtained, you can find out Q2 over there, Q3 over there. What is Q3 written as? Q3 is equal to Q1 minus Q2. So Q3 will be equal to 120 minus 30. There gives Q3, which is equal to 90 microcoulomb. So Q3 value we have calculated. I'm sorry. I have made one small mistake. Here it is Q3. This is Q3. I'm sorry. So the value which you are getting here, it is Q3. I'm sorry. This is Q3, Nana. It is Q3. This is Q3 because in the along this 3 microfarad, how much charge we have took? That is Q3, right? So Q3 is equal to 0. From here you will get Q3 is equal to 30 microcoulomb. So Q3 we have got, Q1 we have got. From there you can find out Q2. Q2 is equal to Q1 minus Q3. That gives you Q2 is equal to 120 minus 30, that is 90 microcoulomb. These are the charges flowing through first path, second path and third path. And next you should find out when the switch is being closed, heat generated in the circuit. You want to find out heat generated in the circuit. So whenever you want to find out heat generated in the circuit, take any one capacitor as the reference, find out the initial and final charges over there, right? Now across 6 microfarad, Q initial, how much we have got? It is 60 microcoulomb. Q initial. Next, what is Q final? Q final is equal to 120 microcoulomb. Okay. So final charge is greater than initial charge. From here you can find out potential difference. That is Q final whole square divided by 2C minus Q initial whole square divided by 2C, that is delta U. Now here there is some work done by this battery, right? 20 volt is doing some work. So therefore I can write heat produced is equal to work done by the battery minus delta U, which gives you heat produced in the circuit. So that is the heat generated in the circuit when you are switching on this key. Same heat will be generated in this part also. Okay. So once if you are closing this switch S2, whatever the difference is being observed in this 6 microfarad, same difference would be observed in this 3 microfarad also. Because initially, whatever the charge it has, the charge is 60 microcoulomb across this 6 microfarad and 3 microfarad. Q initial is same for both capacitors because they are connected in series. So this is the way you can find out heat generated in the circuit. Students, this is most important topic of capacitors. In this, what we do is, you are introducing a resistor. So far we have not yet talked about resistor. Now we are introducing a resistor in the path of the charge flow through the capacitor, right? Now you have a battery. This battery has voltage V. Let me consider it as, don't make it as Vs, it is V itself. And you have a resistor over there, and there is a capacitor over there. You have capacitor and resistor. And these two are connected in series with voltage V. R and C are connected in series with battery. Now when you are connecting these two with in series with this battery, what would happen? The total potential difference which is supplied by the battery, let me consider this as 0, and this will be plus V. This become V. Now the total voltage which you are supplying, when you switch on this key, it is being dropped across this resistor and as well as this capacitor, right? Some part of the total voltage is dropped across the resistor and some part of the voltage is being dropped across this capacitor. Now through this resistor, when the charge is flowing through, there comes some current, and through the capacitor, when the charge is flowing through, it gets charged. So the potential difference across this capacitor is used in charging the capacitor, whereas the potential difference across this resistor is used in current flow in the circuit. Now I can use KVL over here, or simply I will write total voltage supplied is equal to voltage dropped across the component. Here there are two components. I will write voltage supplied as V is equal to voltage dropped across the resistor. I am considering it as VR, and voltage dropped across the capacitor, I am considering it as VC. Right? Now V will be equal to voltage dropped across this resistor. It is I, current passing in the circuit, and R is resistance of the circuit, because V is equal to IR, Ohm's law. Voltage dropped across this resistor is equal to current flowing into this resistance R, and plus what is VC? VC is voltage dropped across here. Let it be charge Q accommodated on these plates when you are closing the switch. So it will be Q divided by C, and this can be written as dq divided by dt into R plus Q divided by C, that is V. Okay, and what is this dq by dt? Since we know that current flow I is equal to dq divided by dt, time rate of change of charge is called as current. So therefore I is replaced with dq by dt in this equation. So finally you can write this equation as V divided by R minus Q divided by CR is equal to dq divided by dt. Just I am shuffling this, like I am making the subject dq by dt. So dq by dt is made as the subject. From this you can even write the expression like this: dq divided by dt into R is equal to Q divided by C minus V. Check it up. I am taking R common here. 1 by R is equal to V minus Q by C. That R comes over to the other side. It is dq by dt into R is equal to Q by C minus V. And this is what, when you are connecting a battery to resistor and capacitor, capacitor get charged and current flows through the circuit till the capacitor is being charged. Once the capacitor is completely charged, there will be no current flowing in the circuit. As a result, it is treated to be as open circuit. That's what you need to remember here. So when charge is being completely, when these plates are being filled with charge, there will be no other charge transfer in the circuit, because the capacitor is now being completely charged. As there is no charge transferred over here, current in the circuit becomes zero, and that is called as, it is known as steady state. So remember, at steady state, capacitor is fully charged, capacitor is fully charged, therefore no current flow in the circuit. Capacitor act as open switch. Capacitor act as open switch. So there will be no other charge transferred once it is being completely filled. Now we have this equation, dq by dt into R is equal to Q by C minus V. Now I'll write this as dq by dt, dq by dt, or else I'll just write it this way: dq divided by Q minus CV is equal to integration of dt divided by RC, and this is also integration. Just C I am multiplying here, it is Q minus CV. That Q minus CV I am bringing it to the other side, so it is dq divided by Q minus CV is equal to R comes to the denominator and dt goes over there, so it is dt divided by RC. You need to integrate this total. Integrating above equation within limits within the limits 0 to Q. So that means what is initial charge on the capacitor? It is 0. What is final charge on the capacitor? Final charge on the capacitor will be Q. Or else you can, as this is variable with respect to time, you can take it as initial charge as 0, final charge you can take it as Q of t, right? So taking these limits, and if you substitute after integration, if you substitute these limits, you will be getting an expression as Q of t is equal to Q naught into 1 minus e power minus t divided by RC. I am not evaluating the integration because we are running out of the space, so directly I am writing out the equation, final expression. Like if you integrate this total expression and substituting the limits from 0 to Q of t, you will be getting it as Q of t is equal to Q naught into 1 minus e power minus t by RC, or you can take this as Q naught to Q of t. So I'll make it clear to you. Initially, if suppose we are considering that there is some charge on the capacitor, that charge, if I consider it as, I'll make it clear to you these limits, right? So initially at some particular instant of time, there is some charge on the capacitor. That charge on the capacitor, I am writing it as Q of t, because at some particular instant of time its charge is Q of t. And what is the final charge on the capacitor? Final charge on the capacitor will be equal to Q, as we have took here Q. So this is Q final charge. What is Q of t? Q of t is charge at any instant of time. So Q of t is equal to Q into 1 minus e power minus t by RC, where R is resistance and C is capacitance. This I am writing it as tau, which is known as time constant. This is time constant. So I will replace that Q of t is equal to Q into 1 minus e power minus t by tau, where tau is equal to RC. It is time constant of the circuit. Dimensions of tau is equal to time. Remember this. Dimensions of this tau, as we are considering it as time constant, dimensions of this tau is equal to dimensions of time, that is t. Now this is the final expression. After evaluating the integration, you will be getting the final expression as Q of t is equal to Q into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. This expression gives the value of charge at any instant of time when it is undergoing charge. Okay. Now I'll be explaining this clearly. Initially, what is charge on the capacitor? It is 0. After some instant of time, when you are switching on this key, charge will be going on introduced. Charge will be accommodated on this plate. After 10 seconds, if you want to find out the charge, after 10 seconds, if you want to find out the charge, you can use this expression Q of t is equal to Q into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. But how do you get this Q? Q is the final charge on the capacitor. So finally, how much charge it is able to accommodate? Final charge Q will be equal to C into V, because total charge accommodated on this capacitor can be written as C into V. So that is what you can even write down this Q is equal to CV over here. We will be knowing final charge which is accommodated on the capacitor. So once final charge is being known to you, at any instant of time, how much amount of charge is accommodated on this capacitor can be calculated by this expression. Very, very important expression. Q of t is equal to Q into 1 minus e power minus t by tau. You need to remember this equation for solving problems. So here, this expression, it is Q by C minus V. As I am altering this, simply I'll put one minus over there. I don't want to make it complicated. I don't want to derive this once again. So I'll simply take here negative sign. That gives you the final expression. Final expression directly I have written, that is fixed. There is no change in the final expression.